Welcome to the Elite Sales Podcast. I got my co-host for today, Misha Elias, and we got our special guest coming in from Texas. We got Alex Gutierrez. You like Alex or Alexander?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. And then we also got our special guest for today joining us from Northern California, or at least that's where he's at today. We got Sean Curtis. What's up, Sean?
Yo, what's up, guys? Glad to be here. Glad to be seen. What's up, team?
Hey, we're looking forward to hearing from you today. So we'll come right back to you. Let me just get a couple questions in for these guys. So what are you doing in town? Joining us from Texas. So.
Well, I came up here to come talk to some of the previous marketing directors with the practice company. Okay. So it's just crazy. You know, they don't make any money, but just the relationship is what's keeping them at the practice company, which, last night when I was sitting down with them, I had asked them, I said, I was like, so after everything we've gone over so far, sell me on going back to my practice company. It's just in their face. They could not figure out what to tell me. It was so crazy. I was like, so you want to get paid faster? Yes or no? Yes. You want more comp? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So what's stopping you? The relationship. And I'm like, so you're going to continue to make 25 grand a year at a 75% contract, and you have supposedly the most superior, contract level out there, and you're broke, busted, and disgusted. And I mean, and I said, so, I mean, pretty much you don't have any kids. So, I mean, you're not forced to have to do something, but like if you had kids, like I had kids, I mean, you should want to make the best of your life instead of just wasting it. Right. And so main thing is, I mean, I think they're just a couple months out from being able to do something, but it's just kind of, I mean, I was in the same part too, where I was like, I built stuff here. I have a relationship with my people. So it's kind of hard to leave, but then it was perfect timing last night for don't be the last one to leave your IMO.
That was a great training last night by Andrew Taylor and Matt Smith. For those of you that didn't catch it, it's archived on our Facebook group. So get on there. I would highly recommend you watch it. But how long did it take you before you decided to come over?
Well, I mean, I heard about Family First Life about 3 years ago, and it really took like 12 months for me to be able to want to do it. But like nobody really followed up with me. I know, Edme and Isaias, like they tried to follow up, but I wasn't open at all.
I mean, because of relationships.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just because my pride, ego. Got it. Ego is what stops a lot of people too, because you're, at the practice company, when you hit marketing director, it's a superior title. Yeah. And it's like, I'm a marketing director, don't talk to me. And like, it's so crazy because over here, Sean's like, yeah, nobody's special. I'm like, dude, that's legit, because you know how many people don't grow because they're like, I'd never be like that guy. Right. And with this company, you don't need to be special. You don't need to be anything. All you have to do is want to work. Right. And that's the sole purpose of why we came over here, was that the system is simplistic and anybody can freaking do it. Yep. And that's just what it is. So I had to drop my ego so everybody else could win.
Yeah. I mean, so far you've been extremely humble. You see the bigger picture. So it's been really cool watching you and your team start doing their thing.
No, we haven't even done anything yet. So
I know. And I know you guys haven't really done what you guys are capable of doing yet, but just to see the little bit of business that you guys have put in so far, have you felt the difference pay wise?
Oh yeah. It's crazy. You don't have to wait 3 weeks to get paid. You just get these $2,000 deposits, and then, like, of course, I mean, the override is a little bit smaller, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be massive whenever we have 300-400 people writing 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 a week. Right. I mean, it's just going to be like, it's unreal. Like the numbers that are put up here is unreal.
So. It's unreal, but it keeps going up and keeps getting bigger and bigger, because, I think everyone just starts to recognize how big the opportunity is. And, our lead platform has continued to develop over the course of time. We didn't have phone burner before. We didn't have all the technology and everything else that's put into place with what we do. And our training's getting better. We're getting better personnel. We have people that see the opportunity that are continuing to grow and push it to a different level. So the thing is, if you guys are on here and you guys haven't done your best yet, which probably it's everybody, including myself. We haven't done our best work. So I mean, if you recognize this and you see the opportunity, it's time for us to take it up to another level. What are we waiting for? Like we were talking about the training from last night with Andrew Taylor and Matt Smith. He said, "Don't be the last to leave your IMO." Okay, don't be the last.
Don't be.
You know this. You know this for a fact. Because imagine if you were the last.
There's nobody to go with you.
I mean,
Exactly.
I mean, there's still plenty of people out there.
Oh, yeah,
but the thing is, the people that you have these relationships with already, they're going to be working with somebody else. And like, just because you're stubborn about it, just because you didn't want to let your pride and ego.
Yeah, I have an ego for something that doesn't have my last name.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't
You
make
don't
any
have a
sense.
plaque
Why
with
to-
your name. With
Yeah.
The next one.
yeah.
I remember when I was approached, and this is something that I've been telling all my people as well, because I also come from another company, and I also reached the marketing director position, and I was, in a convention, the last convention I show up for this company, I was in a group of 160 people that were just clapping, right? And then I was thinking, well, we have all these people clapping for the guy up there, but how many people were here make money? So I started counting everybody that was making money. It was probably like 5 or 6 of us that were actually making money. But I still, chasing the carrot, that you are one recruit away from explosion. I found my upline with the idea of recruiting her, right? But when she's like Alex said, well, let's do the comparison. When they told me about the high compensation, the ability to build a team, the how fast we get paid, I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I didn't hesitate. I made the move right away. I mean, just to leave it and start bringing whomever wanted to join. But something that I've noticed up until today, when sometimes I talk to some of those people, is that the relationship, they are still loyal to whomever brought him into the company. And something that has helped me to break the ice or the wall in order for me to engage in a conversation is that I made a comment. It's a little bit harsh, but it makes sense when I say it to them, because I asked him, I was like, well, you're loyal to this person, to this company, but loyalty with empty packets can only take you so far. So how much farther can you go?
Right.
And then they were like, oh shoot, well, that's right. Let's talk. And still, it's a process, because you have to undo all the rah-rah sessions that they
The
have
Kool-Aid juice.
the Kool-Aid juice that they put into the brain for them to actually realize that there is something better out there. So it's a process. You just gotta keep on dripping, and talking to them, and little by little, people will come over.
Plus, I mean, loyalty is a really noble concept.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something that if someone's truly loyal, you definitely respect that person. But that's a concept that a lot of people tend to overlook.
Right.
Loyalty is a two-way street.
That's right.
So the thing, you could be as loyal as you want to your previous company, your friend that brought you in. How loyal are they to you? I mean, if they were genuinely loyal to you, if you had a better opportunity to make more money, take care of your family the way that you want, grow it the way that you envision, I mean, why would they be mad at you?
That's right.
I found out here recently, like the people who I thought were my boys, the people that I thought I was really good friends with, they're the ones talking the most trash. And then some of the people that were like, oh yeah, no, we're always going to be friends. Like the marketing director that I just got done talking to, well, him and his wife, like they were like, regardless of our decision, like we still love you. And I'm like, that's crazy. But at the end of the day, like they're still loyal to the people that brought them in, but it's only a matter of time. They just have to see us succeed, because 8,000 in a week is nothing. But I mean, in a practice company, I mean, you do 8,000 in a week. Oh, you're freaking sexy. But,
yeah.
You broke the all-time record.
Yeah. You're like Hall of Fame for like, I don't know,
6 months.
6 months. Like you remember when it's there's no new people, and that's what I like. Like I see a lot of people just in our team winning. And that's what I enjoy. And like Fisher went out. I mean, I made that comment on the thing, and Fisher went out. He wrote some more business,
Right?
And I was like, dude, that's what's up.
Yeah. I think that's cool. I mean, you wrote 8,000 your first week.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the thing is, 8,000 is a great job. So excellent work. But it's great. But also, like, we have a guy like Sean that's gonna be coming on in just a second. I mean, 8,000 is kind of nothing at FL. And I don't mean it in a derogatory way. I mean, like, we should all just understand how big this opportunity is. And if we just invest in our leads, we go and try to help as many families as we can. Like 8,000 used to be like a really awesome week. It used to be a good month in my last company. But Now it's kind of like, okay, cool. Great job. You're going to get paid on that. You helped a lot of families. Let's keep helping more people. Let's just continue to grow this thing. Like, let's not be content with mediocre.
Yeah.
Right.
And then beginning next month, I mean, I'll be full time. So I mean, I'm just transitioning out of, you know, my other company that I have running right now. So,
Right.
I mean, I'm just like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
In 2 days, $8,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
And when you're 100% plus comp, I mean,
Oh, it's
such a night and day
ridiculous.
difference.
It's ridiculous.
What comp were you at your last company?
Oh, 75.
Okay, which is considered good, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Relative.
It doesn't make no sense.
So I mean, it's all about perspective. So I mean, like, not to knock anybody out there that's giving out their best effort and you're making a sale a week. Start with wherever you're at. You know, put in your best effort. Put in your best effort. Get your leads. Help people out. You'll graduate. As long as you continue to reinvest back into this, continue to put in more money and time into this, you will get to the point where you get to the 8,000, then you get to the 10, and it's the 15, the 20. I mean, whatever you're personally willing to invest and willing to put in for, you have the opportunity to be able to do that. So just don't sell yourself short. It's not to diminish anyone's $1,000 a week or $500 a week. That's great. If you're making money, I'm happy for you. But the thing is, don't settle for that. No, thinking this is my lot in life. You have a lot more upside. This company has a lot more upside. I just want everyone to do their best. Okay.
A lot of room for all of us to grow.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. So, Sean, if you can unmute real quick, let's get you on.
Yo. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Thank you, guys. How you doing?
So we're happy to have you. I mean, it's funny. Tell us how long have you been here for now?
I've been with FFL now for maybe a little over 2 years now. 2 months, 2-3 months. So 2 years, 2-3 months now.
Okay.
It's been an exciting time. I watched the company grow a lot, so
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And you kind of exploded onto the scene. So I think a lot of people think you're new. They think you're brand new.
So that's the weird story, right? So I've been, like I said, I've been with FFL now for 2 years or so. I came from another company, so I've probably been in the industry now for about 5 or 6 years, give or take some. You know how licensing works in the beginning. But I've since my transition, I can say in the beginning I was kind of off to the scenes, not really as involved in the group as I should have been. Keep in mind, I come from a different group, so with all that being said, I ultimately was bringing bad habits and things like that from the company that I was previously at, and as a result, I wasn't having as much success as I am having today, or in the previous months recently. So, yeah.
So I mean, I guess you've kind of come onto the scene maybe within the last few months. Definitely after convention, you definitely come on strong after convention.
Yeah,
So, what would you say was the point at which you started getting much more involved and started picking things up?
Well, when I transitioned into FFL Elite, that definitely gave me the opportunity to be a part of the group B sessions, to really want to involve myself in the video sessions, the dial sessions, the Facebook meetings, to really want to get involved into all these things. Prior to, it was just maybe 2 or 3 guys, two or three different agents who I knew that were running appointments, but we didn't cohesively communicate in terms of working together as a team. Everyone was just kind of knew each other, kind of doing their own thing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So you guys were just a collection of individuals, but you weren't a team.
Right. We were all just figuring it out here.
Right. It's kind of exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about, not everyone has the answers. It doesn't mean that someone has a silver bullet for you. But the thing is, communication is important. Like, even though we all are responsible for our own businesses, we're all individuals and we have to take personal responsibility. But the thing is, we encounter a lot of the same stuff. We're as business owners, as people in the same industry, people at the same company, we're encountering a lot of the same things. So if you don't communicate this with other people may not know that you feel that way. They may feel the same way, but not even know that anyone else feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
So then when you guys open it up, when you guys put it on the group, when you guys share, and let me just say, if you're going to share in the group, just share positive stuff. If you guys have negative stuff, reach out to your upline directly, reach out to me, so I mean, and I just mean that not because like, we try to be open about everything. We try to be very transparent about everything. But the thing is, a lot of times when you're complaining about certain things or you have something negative to say, you're in a space mentally at that moment. It doesn't mean you feel that way most of the other times. And if you do feel that way most of the times, maybe this isn't for you. But if you are feeling that way, the thing is, bring it to somebody that you know you can't bring down. Take it to your upline, bring it to me. You cannot bring me down. I don't care what you try to do. It's not going to happen.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm good. But
we'll test that later.
Test all you want. Crush all of you guys. But no, but you don't want to put it out there, because the thing is, it's unfair to everybody else on the group, because you put out that negativity. The thing is, it may not even be valid. I mean, it's a valid that you feel that way, but it may not be valid that point, because so you might have not have all the education on it. You may not have the proper perspective on it. You may not have enough experience with it, and then for you to go and blast it on there, it's just a very selfish thing to do, to put it out there for other people, to make them carry that same negativity and that same burden. So just try to avoid that. Share positive things. You want to uplift everyone else that's in the group, because that's what a team does. Your job is to try to help other people make their journey a little smoother. Not to make things more difficult. If you want to make things difficult for anybody, come see me. All right. So.
And then on that note, if I may, think about it this other way. If you are not having any problems, if you're not encountering any obstacles, that means that you're not doing anything.
True.
Right.
True.
So be happy that you have problems. Be happy that you are encountering the hiccups in the business. That means that you are pushing through. That means that you're learning. That means that you're growing. And I had this conversation with my team earlier. There's no problems. There's only opportunities, right? I mean, so we just gotta find the opportunity within the situation and move forward. If just keep that in mind. If there is nothing in your plate holding you, that means that you're not doing anything. If there is stuff in there, that means that you are doing something positive. You're moving forward, and all you gotta do is just keep on pushing through. Right?
That's a great point. Everyone has problems. Everybody has problems. Sean, Mike, Andrew Taylor, myself, everyone has problems. It's just how we deal with it, and then how just keeping things within a certain perspective. So if you're not at that point yet where you know how to properly keep perspective, go talk to somebody that can. Right?
Yeah.
You've been dealing with this too?
Well, no, just the fact that, just what y'all are talking about, stay positive. Because I mean, at the practice company, we would say that too. You just got to keep working. Just go write business. But just the fact that starting out at a 90%, which we don't start people off at 90%, but just being able to do that just gives the people opportunity to, come out of that situation faster, which is, I'm still grateful for this opportunity. This is just every time I'm hearing stuff that's why I have PTSD from this business, because I kind of want to do it. I kind of don't want to do it, and I'm because I know what kind of effort I put in before and what it's given out. And I'm but now, I mean, we're having these conversations, and usually the conversations with people are monetary. Mm-hmm. And it's now you guys can go and kill it in a matter of days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I honestly believe that if we're all functioning at our best level, we're all performing at our best level, we're going to get the best out of ourselves. We're going to get the best out of each other. And we do this, we grow as a team. So the thing is, we don't want someone that's going to be negative and it's going to fester and it's going to continue to build up within themselves and then, infect others with the same negativity. The thing is, we're all assets to share with other people. So the thing is, as long as we maintain that attitude and just do our best, and we're all human. So, if you trip up, there's no problem with that. No one's going to be upset about that. But the thing is, we need to maintain proper perspective, understand there's bigger problems in the world than whatever we're facing at this moment. So let's just try to deal with it the best we can. If you need help, reach out to somebody. And then otherwise, it's going to get better. Just keep working, keep pushing ahead. So sorry, we got off on a little bit of a tangent there, Sean. Just getting back. Yeah. Getting it back to your story. So yeah, once you start plugging into the team, and which, by the way, you're still getting better at it, because there are times when you're like, oh shoot, I need to get on this. I need to get on this call. I need to do that. So you understand the value of it. So how's that changed your performance in the field?
100%. I mean, when I see other people in the group me winning and they're walking up and down the same city streets that I am, it's kind of like, what's the problem here? There's no excuse. There's no, it's just a matter of going out and doing the work. Simple enough. But seeing other people winning is the confirmation sometimes if you're relying on yourself, kind of like what you were just chiming in about or talking about just recently, having that when you're by yourself, thinking, kind of in your own world, doing your own thing, not really plugged into the system with everybody else, kind of surrounding yourself around the campfire, around like everyone else. At that point in time, you can only base your information off of your own results. Right. As a result, you being by yourself, if you're not winning, you're going to think, oh, this whole thing doesn't work, right? So
yeah, I think that's a really good point, because a lot of times when we're having when we're having tough moments throughout the day, so I like to say we don't have bad days, we just have bad moments. You can have a collection. You can have a collection of bad moments, and then you can say like, "Oh, it was a bad day," but in actuality, it was just you got stuck on certain moments, and you just let it take over the rest of your day.
Exactly.
But sometimes we have these moments, and then you think it's tough, and then because you start sitting there, you start thinking about it, you start overanalyzing it, it becomes worse and starts growing and growing and growing. Where in actuality, it's the same problem that existed before that. So if you don't have somebody to communicate out with, or you don't participate in the group stuff, you don't listen to see what everyone else is doing, they're doing positive things, yeah, you can let it spiral out of control really easily. So that is a huge reason for staying plugged in and connected with the group. So people also take it one of two ways. They can you can see all the success, and you can see it as validation, like you have, or you can see it as like, oh man, I'm sucking out here, like I'm doing terribly, and then people get negative about that. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah, definitely. So that's kind of what made it seem like I just kind of appeared out of nowhere. But honestly, like I said, I've had those in the first year of FFL for my business, it was definitely up and down. I've experienced, some great weeks, and then those other weeks come, it's like, whoa, what's going on here? What am I doing? So long story short, the ups and downs, I've been able to survive. I've been able to pay my bills, but more so just reaching the goals reaching my higher goals is what I mean by an up and down type of motion toward the goal. Does that make sense what I'm trying to describe? Okay, I'm going to use the right words here, but long story short, absolutely. To answer your question, has it impacted my performance? The fact that I can see other people winning on the group me on the Facebook messages, the fact that I'm speaking to you guys now, and there is kind of a pleasure out of wanting to be heard. With all great respects, I appreciate all of you guys on here. But thank you so much for just like I said, complimenting and supporting me and encouraging me on the group me, on all the messages, private messages, if there's anything I can do to help anybody. But yeah, that's where I can say I have been through that negative space, periods of those negative spaces, in and out, up and down. But meanwhile, we're all getting to the goal, but in our mind, we're not moving fast enough, or whatever it is, right? It's all different strokes, different folks, but I can definitely say it's a you thing. Me, YOU thing.
Yep. So when you started really picking things up, I mean, right before that happened, I remember I reached out to Terrence, and I'm like, "Who's this Sean guy? Is he even here? Is he even still around? Is he even planning on working? Should we terminate him? Should we do something with him?" And Terrence has always been your biggest supporter. Absolutely. He was always like, "Sean, man, that guy's a beast. He's going to kill it. He's a super hard worker. He's really humble. So he's been one of your biggest supporters." So when you got to that point, what was the first thing you did when you went from not really producing, not really working, to picking things up and buying leads and then going to work?
It sounds like to keep it simple, I literally just plugged back into the system. I was being rebellious previously to prior to talking to Terrence or having that particular conversation. Once again, still in my own world, trying to figure it out, doing my own thing. What works, I do it. What doesn't work, I eventually just give up on it mentally and just kind of put it away. However, Terrence has always been that, fisherman to kind of reel me back in, to keep me plugged in, to remind me of all the resources that are available to me that I'm simply not using due to my own free will. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So after having that conversation, after allowing myself to plug back in, because that was the hardest part. It's an ego thing. Coming from a prior company, you have all these meetings and conversations and presentations, and we're going to train and practice. However, in the other companies, my paycheck wasn't going up. I can say ever since I'm plugged into FFL Elite, my paycheck is going up week after week after week after week after week. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm so happy for all the leadership. I can say special shout out to Terrence. He's definitely, like I said, that fisherman to keep me, to keep me at bay. Despite how far deep sea I go, he always pulls me back in, and just allowing myself to plug back in. Once you plug back into the system, it is inevitable. Like everyone said at convention, the same. Everyone had the same formula. Everyone come from different states and different cities, but they all had the same formula. You spend X amount of dollars a week on leads. You go out, you write the business. It's kind of inevitable, right? So after having a little taste of proof, I'm dying to get back to work now. Help more families, and just do work harder. Does that make sense? I have more to give. I just want to maximize my potential. So
yeah, no, man, I love Terrence, and not anything to do with his production or numbers or anything. It's just he's always got a great attitude, and he's always working. And then as a result of that, I'm sure his numbers will be great because if you have those two ingredients, there's no other way it can go, right? Like you're going to make your money, you're going to grow. So as far as the logistical steps, once you decided I'm back in, you went out and bought leads. Is that was your first step? And how many leads did you buy?
First step, I had to buy 100. Terrence told me don't talk to him unless I buy 100 new leads. So that was just a requirement to get back into good break for Terrence. So naturally started off with 100. Was nervous. I probably spent after I bought the leads, I probably had maybe $130 in my account. Meaning I went all in, right? But at the same time, I knew I had having previous experience. I knew what I was capable of in terms of an agent. However, it wasn't manifesting in terms of how I thought it was. Long story short, smart decision I ever made. Thank God, right?
I agree.
Yeah, that's like I said, that was the first step. So after I bought the 100 pack, I think it was more the biggest hurdle was trying to overcome the bad me. Does that make sense? Or the rebellious, or this thing that's trying to keep me where I'm comfortable as opposed to growing out and getting, uncomfortable. So, buy the leads, get uncomfortable. And sure enough, things started to change very, very quickly. And one breadcrumb led to another.
Yep. So you bought 100 leads, so that's over $1,000 that you invested in leads. So when Terrence told you buy 100 leads or I'm not talking to you, did you take it in a negative way? Did you take it as like, why is he being such a jerk?
Terrence was someone who I very deeply respected because he had the results. So Terrence, when someone of Terrence statues, Albert statue, Andrew, they're all the way above, who can tell you, hey, this does work. It's working for me. Here's the proof. I want you to copy what I'm telling you to do. That makes it a little bit more easier as opposed to somebody who may not be in that position. When you have someone who, like I said, pick the right leader, copy the right cat, there's not, you really don't have a ground to argue with. You know what I mean? The guy's got time to tell you to do it. He's taking time out of his day. You might want to get to work, right? So.
Yeah, no, I love that you have that perspective, because sometimes I used to think this is myself too. You probably feel this a little bit because you guys didn't buy leads. Like we didn't buy leads in my last company. So then whenever people ask me, hey, should I buy leads? Like I kind of felt apologetic about it. I'd be like, yeah, you could, but I mean, you don't have to buy that many, or yeah, it's up to you.
Start with what you can.
Yeah, if you can collect referrals, that's great. Yeah, but after a while, I started recognizing in this business, you can shortcut all of that. You can save so much time. Yes, you can work referrals, you can do some warm market, you do all the other stuff that people traditionally do in life insurance. But the thing is, how sustainable is that? Like, why am I starting someone else on a path that's going to take them much longer to circumnavigate to finally end up back to the spot in which Sean is at right now, where you're picking up right now, where you see it. I mean, so like the thing is, why waste all of our time and be like, no, you don't have to buy leads, or don't buy that many. It's okay. Just spend whatever. We all got to be like Terrence and just be like, buy 100, bro. And just go with it. Don't talk to me until you get it.
Well,
yeah.
You're doing them a favor. Really, you're doing them a favor.
So because we're not used to buying leads from the practice company, but the thing was is if their system works so tight, then how come everybody wasn't making money? So it's like this system over here is, I mean, you invest what you can, you go get as many leads as you can, you close 10, 20% of them, you're going to get your money back. Like, like it's just, I mean, that's really all it is. So, I mean, yeah, leads is kind of like what we have to spend money on that, but it's also, I mean, we'd spend $200 to get an agent coded that never did anything.
Right. I think it was funny the last time we had you on, you're talking about, they were talking about how leads are evil, leads are bad. You don't want to buy leads. And you're like, but aren't leads like people that want to buy insurance?
Yeah.
It's like, duh.
And that is so true because, I mean, whatever the company, they used to tell us that don't buy leads. Leads don't work.
Yeah.
You know, and when I found out of it, that if it failed, that's actually work on leads. And I went back and I said, hey, no, guess what, guys? Leads do work.
Right.
You know, I mean, so yeah, sometimes you just gotta break the habit of listening to the don't buy it, and you just jump in, you just buy leads, and it gets to a point where you're buying leads all the time.
Also, like, if leads don't work, why would people buy them and why would people sell them? Like, they have one job, and if they don't do that job, then they literally don't matter, right? So it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and if leads didn't work, the lead company would go out of business real soon. It's like,
Right.
It's like, oh, we haven't sold anything. It's like, it doesn't work, but they continue to thrive. And you know why? Because people are making money off of it. So going back to your initial investment, Sean, when you spent over 1,000 in leads, how much money did you make off of those leads?
I say 4,000 or 5,000
4,000 or 5,000.
within a good 7-8 day period.
Okay. And I think that's a very typical return. I mean, so the thing is, I always try to tell new agents when you're new, when you're brand new, you have a learning curve, just try to break even.
Yep.
Buy leads, just try to break even. You live to fight another day, you'll get better, you'll learn more about the business.
Mhm.
Eventually you start getting more experience. I say double up. You want to just double up your profitability. After that, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1, 4 or 5-to-1. That's what Hall of Fame producers are doing. Like, you could talk to any of the Hall of Fame producers. Yes, there's some anomalies. They're closing 70%, 80%, but you can't teach that. You can't reproduce that on a regular scale. 4 to 5 return. If you put in enough work, if you put in enough time, you continue to be a master of your craft. 4 to 5 is a very reasonable thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 3-to-1 should be about the minimum if you've been doing this for a while. But after that, I mean, 4 to 5 is good. And, 4 to 5, you were profitable, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what'd you do with the money? What'd you do with the money after you made the 4,000 to 5,000?
Natural reaction. I had to reinvest. Like I said, the funny thing is, prior to this particular time with Terrence, I had been at $5,000 before, so I knew what that was comfortable. I knew the mistakes that I had made in the past by spending the money on silly stuff or things that weren't producing, income. As a result, when I got this $5,000, my intention was to reinvest the entire $5,000 to get to this point. Of course, you need the minor things, you need gas money and you need a new tire because, you don't want the old one to go bad on you on the freeway. So, you take a little change out, spend it on a few necessities. Other than that, we're back in the field. We're trying to talk again to 5,000, right?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. You say it's the natural reaction was to reinvest. It's actually not the natural reaction.
Right. In the beginning, once again, I had made mistakes previous. Right. I had made it to this point, in my business before, $5,000, right? And as a result, in the past, you make the same mistakes that most people make. Hey, I got some money, right? Finally can do other things that I've been desiring to do, right? Because I had made those mistakes in the past, this particular time working with Terrence, I knew not to make that mistake anymore. It's all about reinvesting back into the business immediately. The faster you reinvest, the faster your business will grow.
So the new smarter Sean told you to tell you reinvest.
There you go.
The old original Sean, who I thought about terminating.
Oh man, that guy was almost out of here.
That guy. But see, that's the thing. Like, wherever you guys are at right now, if you guys are struggling, if you guys are going through some difficult times, it's okay. I mean, this is how you learn and this is how you get better. If you don't go through that, you're going to go through the original natural response, which is you made some money. Let's go on vacation. Let's go buy something stupid. Let's go buy something fun. Let's go have, I was joking with Ben Berry, who's happy birthday, by the way. What was joking about? Because we were talking about, like, as soon as you get paid, your first thing you think to yourself, what's a nice restaurant I want to go to? right? And that's a very natural.
Postmates every meal for that week.
Yeah,
You deserve it.
you're balling. I mean, it's a very natural reaction. So it's a very natural reaction. So you have to get unnatural
Mhm.
by when you make money. Be like smart Sean. Do what he's doing.
Reinvest.
Yep.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
So how did you keep this whole thing going? How do you make sure that you talk about your paychecks going up and up and up? And I'm sure convention had a lot to do with that. You
Absolutely.
with the team that helped a lot. But how's that trajectory gone?
It got more exciting. I think that was it. My confidence shot up. My attitude shot up. The light at the end of the tunnel got a little brighter. It was like, maybe that was just a good week. Let me try it again next week. Let me see. Let me see if it's consistent. Let me see. So naturally we invest. Week number 2, hey, we had another good week, same performance. At the same time, because what me personally, I'm the kind of person that I'm a workaholic. If there's anything I love to do is to work. I much rather work than TV, video games, play, hang out. I like to work. I like to make money. That's what I like to do. Long story short, rinse and repeat, keeping it simple, rinse and repeat. I got excited, reinvested, and it came back a return for the second week, the third week, fourth week. I'm like, hey, this is starting to get a little easy, right? You start to rub your hands, and it's like, I think I kind of know what I'm doing here. I see I went wrong before. Let me change this now, see if this works for a little bit. Sure enough, things have been getting better, and it's not just the conversation; it's just the entire group. Having that support from every single person in the group, on down. I don't want to get listing names here, but from everybody that's in the group has play a special part into making me want to work harder. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's awesome. So have you increased your lead flow? Have you increased your activity since
What? Oh man, I love it, brother. Everything increasing. I don't like phone burner is burning up, right? So like I'm excited. Everything. I recently bought a new tablet, so now I have 2 or 3 tablets. When I go inside of a home, I realize there's been some situations where I'm going over something with the husband and the wife, and somebody's in the background talking about, hey, I want to get started, but it takes me a little while to clear this particular application. Long story short, I eliminated all that, just by buying a simple another third tablet, or just to say more proactive. I say all this to say, lead flow is going up. All the essentials going up. Phone burner. We're thinking about getting a second account just in case I need it for my sister, who's thinking about getting on the phones now that there's a lot of money being floating around. Long story short, everything's going up. Everything's going up. I just want to work harder.
Love it. So you're not afraid to invest, and you're not afraid to put in work.
Not at all.
All right. So let me ask you one other question, because this is what a lot of people associate with when they see success like yours. People just think, oh, it's probably because he knows so much and he's an expert at underwriting. He's an expert at the products. He's an expert with the carriers. Do you know everything in the field?
Not at all. I know. I got this one thing called one phone number. It's a guy named Albert. He helps me all the time. I mean, every time I call, he picks up immediately. He's like the Google for insurance. Like, he knows it all. And Albert, I love you, man. I appreciate you. I respect you tremendously. Taking time out of your family, out of your business, just to help me grow mine. Thank you.
Oh, it's an investment for me too. And plus, I don't know, for anyone that's looking to get it, anyone that's trying to put in work, anyone that wants to do better for themselves, that's our job as uplines. We gotta be there for them. I mean, that's one thing that someone's told me before. You don't have to have all the answers, but the thing you have to be is available. And I always know you are working, you're grinding, because you do call me all day long, which I have no problem with, because I'm like, man, this guy's getting after it. Like, why would I complain about picking up a phone call? This guy's out there grinding himself, right? It's silly. It's selfish of me. Now, if you're calling me for like nonsense, if you're calling me to be like, hey, did you watch the game last night? I'm like, we got work. We're all adults, but if you're putting in the work like that, I mean, yeah, the results show.
Absolutely.
You have something you want to share?
Hey, Sean.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what are your goals for the next 30 days?
30 days, 50K
50K.
come March 1st. Honestly, my goal was to hit 50K this month, February. I'm maybe about 10, 15,000 shy. I don't know the exact number. At the same time, I can say that's the goal, 15,000. I also want to start getting into the slots with Andrew. I don't know if everybody is participating in that. Getting involved in that as soon as possible. My main goal, truthfully, one big goal I would like to teach one other person what it is that I know. After all 5-6 years of my years of experience, I would really like to find somebody who's genuinely excited and put money into their bank account and hopefully share my success that I've had all this month, months and previous before. I want to share this with somebody else.
Yeah, and
That's awesome.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Sean. Do you have any people on your team right now?
As of right now, we no personal recruits. I have no personal recruits. There is I think maybe a few downline. However, I don't want that to. That's not part of the everything that you guys see on the group. Me is personal production.
Yes.
So, but yeah, there's maybe 1 or 2 people in the downline. I haven't met them personally. I don't know, them. They're not personal recruit. But yeah, so that's something I definitely want to immediately start digging into. This month, I had a particular goal in mind, leaving after convention. I think I proved that goal to myself, and I'm on fire now for the rest of the year.
And no, the only reason why I ask is because your story is going to be so relatable to a lot of people, and you're going to be able to lead a lot of people with your story. And so, I mean, I can tell you're someone that's well respected. So just keep doing what you're doing, bro. I mean, we're happy for you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother. Thank you sincerely. It means so much to hear you say that. Thank you.
But I do want to see you cash flow 50 grand because that's sexy.
Likewise, brother. Likewise, man. I'm excited for all of us. Like I said, it's your first week doing 8,000. I did not do 8,000 my first week, brother.
I'm not that tight. I just hit the phones, and I'm scared of the phones too. So they're
and I'm excited for you. I'm looking to celebrate your success. So thank you again for the compliments. Anybody here listening, if I can help anybody, please reach out. But yeah, thank you again for that compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, and really enjoyed having you on, and you're actually like an inspiration to me because that's the thing. I mean, I was legitimately talking to Terrence. I'm like, this guy hasn't done anything for months. Is he still around? Should we just terminate this guy? Like, what should we do? And then something like, we didn't even meet until convention. Like, we talked on the phone a few times, but we didn't even meet until we went to convention.
Correct.
So I just know, and I've always believed this, and you're just another example. If you just believe in people and give them an opportunity, the thing is, it doesn't matter where they are right now. The thing is, as long as they want more for themselves and they're willing to put in work, there's an opportunity for you to change from doing 0, like you were doing, to now shooting for 50,000 a month.
Yeah, absolutely. One last little piece I can say also helped, man, is my father passed away in January 5th. He died in a car accident. Some of you guys that don't know, I can say that definitely put a different kind of fire. I can't quite describe it, but it's definitely a different kind of fire there. So
yeah, I mean, you just went straight back to work. I mean, you didn't. Yeah. So I mean, I really commend you for that, and you're just you're a big inspiration to the rest of the team, and we're really blessed to have you here with Elite.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Anything else you guys wanted to share with the rest of the group, guys?
No, I mean, just let's go to work and go through the hurdles and make it happen.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys very much for joining us today. Appreciate you, Misha.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate you coming in, Alex, and sharing some. And appreciate having you on, Sean.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Let's have a great weekend. Let's make it a great week. Let's go out there. If you guys need anything, you know where to reach us.